Sergio, welcome to In the Naad.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I'm so happy to have you. We are friendly through our community, the Kundalini community, and now you're a world famous teacher.
Infamous is not bad
And
either.
it's pretty impressive to watch what you and Ryan have done with that studio. You guys have really made it your own. And we
Thank
needed
you.
that. The community. I'm going to
Oh.
move this over for you. teeny
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
The community desperately needed that, and you guys came through. So thank you from the community. And why don't you tell me a little bit about your story and how you found Kundalini?
Okay. So how I found Kundalini Yoga. So it starts back in my early 20s. You know, I had moved to LA from Bolivia, which is a pretty small country. You move to a big city like Los Angeles, and there's a lot of things to do, a lot of colors, a lot of beautiful people, a lot of things to have fun, right? So I kind of like went on that path of like having a good time, partying, doing all these things. And I was one of those like weekend warriors, you know, like
Yep.
I called myself a weekend warrior back then. I look back, I was like, that's so stupid.
You're a kid.
But anyways, that was me. And it was a trip to New York. So I was going to a trip to New York, and I got like really, really, really sick, and well, not super sick, not obviously not sick enough not to go. It was for my sister's birthday, and she's like, you know, I'm not going because I'm sick too, and I'm gonna stay home. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let this get in between me and having a good time. So I go to New York. I have a good time. Sick as shit, and I come back and the flu is gone. It's not even a flu, but it's kind of like a cold. The cold is gone, but then all the symptoms remain. 1 month passes by, 2 months passes by, and then I'm in like excruciating pain, like super deep chronic fatigue. Like even getting out of the bed was like a struggle. Like I didn't know what was wrong with me. So I started going to different doctors, different specialists, and they're like, your results, again, I'm 24, right? So like your results are better than like 5 to 10, like they're in the 5-10% top best results here. Went to different specialists. They're like, oh, I don't think you have anything. Maybe you have Lyme. I wasn't bit by a tick. I didn't have any bite. So here I am, like trying to figure it out, and they're trying to pinpoint like these random diseases that I probably don't have, and then trying to fill me with drugs, basically with prescription medicine. So then, because of this desperation, I'm like, okay, I need to figure out something. I get into YouTube, like these guided meditations, actually like angel meditations, you know, these funny ones, but they're great. They're great.
great.
They're a really good step into
Yep.
your spiritual world, really.
Entree.
I would listen and I would calm down, and it started opening a new door, a new realm.
Were you spiritual at all at this point?
No.
Oh,
no,
so just a party boy, just a rager.
far. And that what's really interesting, I was
that's
thinking
so
about
interesting.
it today, because relating to my Peru Yatra, is that I had gone to Peru in 2014, and I was walking through Machu Picchu, and I saw someone sitting in easy pose in Gyan Mudra, and I thought it was hilarious. I was like, that's how checked
Like, what a
out.
weirdo.
Yeah, well, it was like, that's weird. 2 years later, here I'm struggling for my life, and I'm like trying to figure out, do whatever I can to feel better. So then I get into, I think this is kind of like a step-by-step a lot of us go through. I get into Louise Hay, you know, have you heard of her?
Yeah, of course.
So like Queen of Affirmation or whatever. And she's like, oh, listen to this audio tape for like 30 days. You will be healed. It's like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I listened to it, and after 4 days, like all of the symptoms are gone. Like at this point, I think it's been like 3 to 4 months of severe chronic pain, inflammation, etc. So the pain is gone. Then that 1 week and like a couple of days later, I get into a really, really, really bad fight with one of my sisters. The next day, all of the symptoms came back. All of them. And I kind of stopped doing that. I was like, okay, but it gave me kind of like a glimpse of hope. I was like, there's something here. There's something here that goes beyond the physical that you can manipulate with here. So that got me into a question of like, okay, there's something here. Let's dive deeper. Again, coming from a party life to being like, wow, what is this? It was a new chapter. I was still struggling, but it opened up a new channel in me. So then that's when my journey really began. I started reading all these different books. Most of them, it was just more like, I need to heal myself. I want to feel good. It wasn't like, I want to be a higher being. I was like, I want my body to be healthy. And then I saw this book online, and the title was Meditation as Medicine. I didn't even read anything about it. I was so desperate, I just purchased it. And it happened to be a book about Kundalini Yoga. It was
Got it.
So explain.
You fell in accidentally.
It was an accident. It was an
But
accident.
but really purpose. It was
Yes,
it was an
yes.
accident on purpose.
Correct. So I buy this book, and I wasn't much of a reader at the time. So I read a little bit about Kundalini Yoga, what it
Just
was.
shows how
and stuff.
desperate you were to get healed.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't care about this. What is this? These are the exercises. So I started doing, I believe the first one I did was Ego Eradicator. And I felt a sense of calm like we all do. And I felt a sense of peace throughout the pain that I was experiencing in my body. And that was the first time that I was like, wow, I can actually
Step out of this.
Yes. Yeah. And shortly after, I Googled right away, what's Kundalini Yoga Studio? I go to the studio. It's like a little house in Santa Ana. It's the House of Ramdas if you live in Orange County. And I go there, tiny little house. It's a little old, beat up, dirty, whatever. I go in there. I'm just describing the way it is. No judgment. It was a beautiful experience.
Don't worry.
And it was my first Kundalini yoga experience in a group. So I go there, just a guy dressed in white, turban. I never questioned it. I sat there, did the class. They had us chant mantras. I have never chanted a mantra, but I never questioned it. I just did it. And that was it from there. Shortly after, I go to a sadhana, like someone there tells me, you need to go to do sadhana at this one studio. I go there, and I was like, what the heck is happening here? Like, no one's telling me what to do. But one thing led to another. Then I got into teacher training, and now I'm here talking to you.
Your story is like so many others.
Yes.
Looking for a desperate way out, and you find this ticket, and you just go, having no idea what you're going to expect, and it works.
Yes.
It's kind of funny because Kundalini doesn't seem to be a slow burn. It seems to be like once you catch it, you're in.
Yeah, no questions asked. You just go in. Somehow I just dive deep into it fast.
It feels good. It's good for you, and you feel the shift pretty quickly. I mean, that's one thing. You feel the shift really quickly.
Yeah.
And so now you are one of the primary teachers at Babaji, which is a beautiful studio. We've talked about that a lot on the show. And how's life as a teacher versus a student? Because it wasn't so long ago.
Well, I've never really, when I got into the practice, I just wanted to heal myself. I wanted to heal my body. And then it became where like I didn't really care anymore about the physical. And it was more like I saw how my mind was changing, how my lifestyle was changing, and how I was feeling about myself. So it became more of a self-healing thing. And I never really saw myself as a teacher. I never really had the desire to teach. But then one thing led to another. I started going to Tej pre-pandemic. Then I started going to her studio. I actually had fallen off of my practice. I went to India and completely fell out of my practice, ironically.
In India?
Well, there was a whole, like 8 months of traveling. But in India, I was at my worst consciousness. I was at the Golden Temple, and I did go to the prayers. I got to the temple, but I couldn't fully relate. And this is coming from a time where I was fully devoted for about 2 years of a solid sadhana.
Who'd you do the India? Was it a yatra?
No, I just went by myself.
Oh, really?
Myself.
You were gone for 8 months?
Well, not just in India. I went to Israel. I began in Israel. Then I went to Egypt. Then I went to Nepal. Then I descended to India. So it was like a
bunch of holy sites?
In India, yeah. I went to different places. I actually started in Varanasi, which they might have changed their name. They change their name all the time.
Do they?
So they do. It was called something else before. I think it was Varanasi or
Is that where the river runs through?
Yes.
And they do they have that ceremonial.
Yes, where they burn
the dead bodies.
Yeah,
they burn the dead bodies. Yeah. Were you there for the ceremony?
I have a story with that.
Oh, tell me.
It comes with a story. So I'm in Varanasi. It's a lot. Like I arrive at 5 a.m. And
did you feel something as soon as you get off? Is there a heaviness or something in the air?
It was pretty amazing. So I arrived to Varanasi. I crossed the border from Nepal with this guy that knew the area. I met him at a Vipassana retreat. And we get there 5 a.m. and we go straight to this place where it's this little shop where they're selling chai tea at 5 a.m. and they're blasting mantras. And we're there for hours just sipping on chai teas. I don't know how many we had, maybe like 10 of those, and just listening to the mantra. And the energy was very, very powerful. It's also a place that there's a lot of darkness. Varanasi is very dark, but there's also a lot of energy and a lot of movement. So it was kind of a place like
Explain to the listeners what they do there, because it's pretty intense.
Okay, So, and again, this is me with 8 years of remembering this, so I'm not gonna completely recall everything. But what they do is that I'm not sure how the bodies get there, but they burn their bodies and
All
then
the dead bodies.
Yes, and then they put them into the river and they send them in a boat. I believe
They float them out on a boat, and I think they light the boats on fire.
Yes. So
I think that didn't the Vikings do that as well? Something similar.
No idea.
It's weird how all these traditions from all over the world end up being so similar.
Yeah.
There's got to be something to it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what happened? So what's your story there?
Oh, so the story in Varanasi. So, first of all, I like to say about India that India is like a chaos.org, a functioning chaos. There's so much chaos. There's so many people. You've been there, right?
Yeah.
There's so many cars, and you're crossing the streets, and the tuk-tuks are passing through you, and you're like, how am I not getting
I've not been to Varanasi. Is that what you're asking me? Or I've been to chaos.
Yes, but India's chaos in
Got it.
a lot of places, at least the places that I went to.
Right.
And you wonder yourself, how I'm not getting run over right now. Cars are passing you, the cars, the tuk-tuks, and it works. It works,
You get into that rhythm.
You get into the rhythm of it. So I'm walking through Varanasi, and I'm sure a lot of people who are listening to this who've been to India are going to relate to the story a little bit. First, I want to say that people in India are lovely. They're beautiful people. They're kind. They're happy. They're joyful. Most of my experience in India was beautiful, and it's one of my favorite countries in the world, and I would die to go back. So with that being said,
Let's go. That'll be your next yatra.
Yes. So I'm walking through the chaos. There's like thousands of people, and then this guy comes up to me. He's like, hey. And and like this blonde 27-year-old is like, hey, he's like, come to my shop, buy stuff. And it's like, I don't have time right now. I'll talk to you later. Like very kindly, this is, when I recall stories, I'm a little bit more like.
It's okay because you have to go through them quickly. Yeah,
exactly.
Time.
So yes, time. So I walk and I leave. I went to the train station. Then I come back through a similar route, and somehow he spots me. Again, I'm blonde, but there's a lot of blondes walking through there too. He's like, hey, it's you. And I was like, how did you find me? and he's like, come to my shop. And I was like, no, not right now. Like, I really want to go. This is more me being very, I guess you want to call it, gory at that time. Now I look back and say, why would you do that? I was like, I want to go see the dead bodies. I want to see where they burn the dead people. And he's like, I'll take you there. Oh. so I was like, wow. Okay. I was like, sure, let's go. So we're walking through this neighborhood. It's kind of like a maze, like really small streets, narrow streets, and it's like a maze. A whole world, yeah. So he walks me into the area where these rituals are happening, and this other man approaches me, and he starts telling me the story, how they like take care of these elderly people until their last day, and then they burn them alive, and that they buy this really, really expensive wood that comes from some other place. So it was a total like a scam story. I don't know the reality of what's happening behind that. So anyone who knows the real story in the comments if this is posted. But I could sense that I was trying to be taken advantage of. So I'm one of those people, at least at that time, I was like, okay, I'm not.
Hightail it out of there.
I can't fake it. My face kind of drops, and I look at my friend, right? And I look at him, and he's like, and then the guy's like, would you like to make a donation? And I look at the guy, and I was like, no, I'm not making any donation. Again, it's not about the money, but it was about
of course
the fact that you're being taken advantage of. So he's like, no, it's okay. We're
not PC here, so you don't have to watch everything you say.
Thank you. Thank you. I like that. I love that. So I feel free now. So now, he's like, no, it's okay. You don't have to give him money. We're just going to give you a tour. So at this point, like literally we're walking, and he's like, here's one of the dead bodies. And I was so livid that I didn't even care. I wasn't even looking at the body. I was like, God, please get me out of here. That's how mad I was. And I didn't even pay attention. I came here to see the dead bodies, and then here I was. There's literally a dead body in front of me.
You don't even notice it.
And I could care less because I felt taken advantage, and I was like, I wanted to get out of there. So we walk out of there, and I'm walking with the guy, and he's like, let's go to my shop. And I was like, I don't want to go to your shop. Like you brought me here like to be taken advantage, and I'm just not going with you. And I kind of cuss him out in a very nice way, in a very Sergio way. Like I don't want to disrespect anyone, And so we're walking, I get quiet, and Sergio goes back to us. Like, how can we get out of this experience with a very an energy that's a little bit more soothing for both of us. So there's no, karmic garbage being
Right.
left, So I was like, okay, I'll go to your shop. I was like, why not? He took the time. He took me there. Bad idea. So we go into this house. He takes me into this house. Silly me walks into the house, and he shows me this closet, and there's all this clothing there. And then Sergio, and this might be like a rising Gemini thing, but angry Sergio comes back in. And I was like, actually, I don't want to buy anything from you. I was like, what you did to me is not cool. I'm not okay with that. And I'm just going to go. So I walk out, and as I'm walking out of the house, 3 other guys come out. And they follow me. They literally follow me outside of the house, and they corner me against the wall. Now with him, there are 4 people.
Like a gang?
I don't know what they are, but they're 4. And they're like, give him money, give him money. And I was like, I'm not going to give him anything. I was cornered. And he's like, but then I'm a little, part of me, so I was like, I'm from Bolivia. If you've been to Bolivia, it can be very dangerous. And the motto that we have is like, if you're being mugged or robbed, just give them everything because they're going to kill you. Not saying that they were going to do that, but that thing kind of activated
in you.
And me, and I took like 100 rupees, which is like, what, $2? It's nothing, right? So I give him 200 rupees, 100 rupees, and they're like, give him more. And then the other Sergio comes back, and I was like, no, you're not going to give him anything. I was like, I'm not giving you anything. And then I start running. So I ran. They disappeared, but that was.
So you got away with it.
I got away with it.
Oh, good.
And
okay, so that's not that
story, but then it goes into more. We don't have to go there. But my point, like that was experience. That was my kind of my only heavy experience in India. Other than that, it was a really amazing time, and people were just amazing there.
Well, obviously it worked for you because you've come back and you've dug in pretty deep. So, another question for you. White Tantric is something I have never really gotten into. And I know that you've been traveling the past couple of years. And how many have you done?
Okay. So I've done, I think, total. And again, this is me not bragging. There's people that have done like way more than I have.
Don't worry. You do not have to start every sentence with an apology. We're all good.
Okay.
No one thinks you're bragging. You're here for a reason. To tell your experience.
Okay. Thank you. So I've done probably about 43 White Tantrics.
Wow, so it's you go twice a year.
No.
How many are you doing?
So I'm doing, for the last 3 years, I've done about 10 to 12 a year, 10 to 13 a year.
So you're literally traveling to each one. You're not just doing the solstice.
No, I'm not just doing the solstices. I'm doing to most of the United States White Tantrics, and then I'm doing a couple international ones.
And are you working with 3HO?
And no. So I did teach at 3HO this year. They contacted me to teach, which was a great opportunity. And God willing, I'll teach for summer solstice.
Well, were they happy with you?
Yeah, they were happy. And I wanted to do a shout out for the vendor. He's doing a fantastic work. Cher Randier. They're really trying to get the community back and going.
Good.
And
it's nice to know that there's a lot of people working towards that goal.
Yes, and they're doing a beautiful work. So I'm very happy with the direction that 3HO and the White Tantric organization with Siri Simran are headed towards. It's cool.
It's great to hear that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about White Tantric is? I mean, I know what it is, but I'd rather you teach us.
Okay, so before we head into what White Tantric is and what it does. So I want to talk a little bit about us. So you have thoughts every time per second. You're having about thousands of thoughts.
Right.
So now, depending of the importance that you're giving to these thoughts, they get secured in the subconscious mind. So whether it is a exhilarating experience or a really traumatic experience, you will kind of hold into that thought in the subconscious. And then this kind of becomes like a blueprint of how you deal with different situations and experiences in your life, which can be, I consider it very problematic because it's not only the negative experience, but also the positive experience. Because you can have a very beautiful experience and you're holding on to it subconsciously, and then a similar positive experience comes through and you're not going to let it play out as it's supposed to be because you're relating to it
as the old pattern.
Correct. So that's why I also believe that positive experience that you're holding on to are not beneficial at all. You want to have a clean slate throughout your life. So then positive, then the negative, obviously. You know, when a negative experience is happening and we have a similar experience happen again, you relate from that
the blueprint or the rose color shades, whatever it is, you don't come to it with an objective point of view. It's tainted by experience.
Correct. Without understanding that although the experience may be similar, but the different characters are playing in that new experience will completely change the dynamic and the result.
Right, because our mind wants it to play out the way we're used to it playing out, which can be very painful.
Yes, correct. So now you're basically, in a way, imprisoned or being held hostage by the subconscious mind, which is running your conscious life.
Running the show.
Yes, you're acting consciously based on the subconscious. So now when you do White Tantric, so you go and you sit in partners, you're staring at them the whole day, you're face to face, eyes sometimes are open, sometimes are closed, you have different mudras, different meditation, sometimes silence, sometimes mantra. Meditations go from 31 to 62 meditation to 62 minutes. And that's really where the work goes down. So Kundalini yoga already works in the subconscious mind, but I like to say that White Tantric is like the Mario Kart of Kundalini yoga. You know when you've played Mario Kart?
No.
So when you're in Mario Kart, there's these like ramps, there's colorful ramps that when you see them, you go on them and you go. Phew. So White Tantric is like an accelerated.
I got it.
Yes, they're like the acceleration of your projection of where you're going and your healing. So it really goes down into the subconscious mind and wipes as much as it possibly can. You will be sitting down for hours a day meditating, and there's going to be physical discomfort. You're going to want to cry. You're going to want to scream, laugh. There's been times like, and I've done this 43 times, and there's been times where I'm like, I just want to get the fuck out of here. You scream and run out of this room. But then you don't. You just sit there. And as you're sitting there, you're processing all of these blockages, and you don't need to know. You don't need to know what are you processing. Because again, when it goes with the healing, I think sometimes people are like, they focus on going down into the root of what experience was that caused this trauma or caused this pattern. I actually think it's irrelevant because it's very easy to pinpoint any experience of your life. It's like, oh, that's it. You know, so I feel like the actual root of it doesn't matter as much. And that's why I love White Tantric so much, because you just go there, you don't question it.
Wipes the slate clean.
Wipes the slate clean. It's going to take a long time, right? But as much as it possibly can. Each time you go, you're going to clean up more and more.
So it's a cumulative effect.
Yes, a cumulative effect.
Oh, that's why people... I see. So that makes sense, is why people like to go to as much as they can, because it's just an add-on.
Yes.
Question, are there some people that actually don't participate in the day-to-day of Kundalini, but they're just White Tantric people?
I love that question. I'm so thankful that you're asking this question. So there is people that they are yogis, but they do come, and again, this is not a one-person case, you know, but there's people that just do White Tantric. That's it.
Got it.
They don't have a solid practice, and that's where I want to divert into right now, is that so when you do White Tantric, in order to remove these blockages, one, it's going to bring you opportunities, but it's also going to bring you challenges. Because in order to remove those blockages, you're going to have to experience it and wipe it off. So you're going to wipe it off when you're sitting down then, but then it's going to manifest into a physical form, and you're going to have to deal with it. Does that make sense?
Of course, you're bringing it to yourself as a challenge almost.
Yes. So it'll bring you many blessings, many opportunities, but many challenges too. And things can get really, really, really hard. But that's when the growth is happening. And what I've encountered...
Would you find that less of these the challenging experiences appear the longer you're in the White Tantric, or no?
You never know what you're going to get.
Oh, okay.
You never know what
you're
guarantees.
No guarantees.
Because sometimes you'll come out of there and you'll be in bliss for a few weeks or a month, 40 days. And then other times you'll be in the trenches. So
are you getting downloads while you're in there?
I am. Not all the time. Sometimes you'll go there and you don't really feel like anything's happening. It's like, there's been a few where I didn't feel anything
I get
happening.
it. Like class, too. You can walk into class and that wasn't impactful in the moment, and then it hits you.
And then you go back to your life and things start moving. I've been fired after doing 2 White Tantrics in a row. 2 really solid relationships, friendships had dissolved after doing 2 sessions of White Tantric.
Were they for the better in the long run?
Yes, all of these were for the better. All of the challenges that went really in a very unfortunate way redirected me to an amazing place. So yes.
So now Kundalini, as you know, is very much technology of precision, of angles, of triangles. What is the meaning behind the rows? Because in White Tantric, you're sitting in very specific rows, and the line, I think it's male, female. Is it male, female, male, female?
Yeah, so ideally you're partnering with female, male, although like so sometimes imbalances of how many men and women, we have a line that's a female energy and a line that's a masculine energy. And then
for the polarities, right?
For the polarities, yes, for the polarities. And then it comes into sacred geometry where it uses like the diagonal force. So now, as you know, like Yogi Bhajan mentioned, that your problems comes in blocks, in squares. And then when you use the diagonal form,
you cut through them?
You cut through them, correct. So now, let's say you and I are partners in White Tantric. It seems like we are, but in reality, your partners are the 2 people on your diagonal. It's 2 people because you're using the diagonal force. So those are, in reality, your partners.
Oh, that's fascinating. What you're making me want to do it now.
You should.
When is the next one?
So the next one, I believe, is April 7th here in Los Angeles. It's going to be in Koreatown. And you can visit the website of whitetantricyoga.org, I believe. But
is this the first time that it's not at UCLA?
Second time.
Wow. I think I might do it with you. How many days is it?
1 day. Yes, 1 day.
Oh, okay. I think I might be there. So tell us some more kind of interesting things that make that separate White Tantric from a daily practice. Like what other fabulous gifts does it bring into our lives?
What I want to say about White Tantric again is that White Tantric is a quicker way to bring the challenges and opportunities. Kundalini already does that, and it does
pretty
it in
quickly.
A very quick way. But White Tantric is like so obvious. It's right in your face. But then you have to integrate it with your practice. So they go hand to hand. You can't separate them. Because if you don't have a solid practice, when these challenges come or these opportunities come, your nervous system, your energy field, your state of mind, you might not be able to take the best opportunity from the situation. You take the best action. And that's where it goes, where you have to have a solid practice. Otherwise, you're just doing all this work. And yes, you are scrubbing the subconscious mind, but then you have all these opportunities, these chances for growth coming, but you're not taking advantage of them. And I've seen that a lot. Like I've met many people, and amazing people, because it does change your personality. I'll say that. My
personality has completely changed since I've taken on this practice.
So I will say, do it anyways. But I see them and they're like, oh, I've done like 40 White Tantrics, and then they're telling me that they're struggling with money, they're in a toxic relationship, and I'm like, there's something wrong here.
I know it's wrong. I know what you're gonna say.
Well, tell me.
That you can't just do the White Tantric. You have to have your heart, your mind, and your physical energy have to be all pushed into something. And that just sitting down and praying or meditating,
whatever that is
never going to bring you the result you want. It has to be aligned with action.
Yes, correct. Because you have, again, it's very strong energy, and you're going to have to be able to sustain that energy. And if you don't have it...
No, because it's like a battery burning under you. It will burn out. I really believe that part of what's... I think that there are certain teachers... Okay, so we can all talk about this. Our community had it was in jeopardy for a while, which
yes.
I think is also a gift, because through those hard times, we find where the misgivings were, we bring it back to self, we work, and now the community's coming back stronger. And I think what's really important is that there were some people that were sort of creating their own sect, and those branches, they usually fall off during shakeups. And so shakeups in all areas of one's lives are a gift.
Yeah.
They're a scary gift. But they really bring you back. They really recenter, and I think that's important. But what I've learned throughout my years in the community is that, like all spiritual groups, we can lose our way if we don't stay finely tuned. Which is why for me the daily practice is so important. It's the fine tuning. And what I noticed a lot was people that would just come and meditate. They would live good, clean, wholesome lives, but there was no action. There was no moving the energy forward, right? So you have the cohesion between the heart and mind, but you don't have the wind that's filling the sail.
Yes.
So without that wind, the sailboat just stays stagnant. It might be a nice sailboat. It might be well-intended, but it's not moving anywhere. And it's certainly not moving the energy, which is what we need in order to manifest and in order to fulfill the visions that we have.
Yeah. I call that a resting life.
It is a resting life. And that's okay.
That's okay too.
It's okay.
That's okay
it's
too.
It's a spiritually grounded life.
And it's a beautiful life.
It's a beautiful life.
And who doesn't want a resting life once in a while?
I think that those resting life folk can be very neutral minded, which is great. You know, their energy is neither positive. Well, it is positive.
It is positive.
It's just not. It's sedentary. It's sedentary.
Yes.
But I'd rather have those people around me.
Yes. No, they play a role in our life. I have a lot of people.
A lot of teachers.
Yes.
A lot of teachers.
Listen, one of my most grounded and elevated friends is not a yogi, is not a meditator. But he's one of the most grounded and focused person and has the most common sense of any people that I know.
I often say, people are like, aren't you ever in a relationship with yogis? And I'm like, I can find grounding elsewhere. I don't need a soy boy to make me whole. Like, that's okay. But, I still like that masculine, energy, which isn't always hand in hand with, a yogi. Although I think I definitely see that growth expanding.
Yeah.
I see more manly men in the yogic field, and so which is nice. It's really nice. And I think it was always there. It just wasn't in my path, Mm-hmm. But also, our yoga tends to be very spiritual.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I'm off track. What was I even talking about? Like, there I go.
We're talking about there's certain people that they don't necessarily they're not in a lineage or in a meditative space, but they can still carry some sort of knowledge, wisdom, and energy. So there is not that many, but they're out there, and it's.
I do not think you have to be a Kundalini practitioner in order to be enlightened.
I agree, but I think most of us need it.
Oh yeah,
sure. I definitely
I'd be
do.
thrilled
That's why I'm here.
If we'd dose half of America, put the other, we should all be doing meditation.
Yeah.
Like every single one of us. If you're not doing meditation at this point, you're missing the boat.
Yeah.
You're just missing the boat. Guru Jagat used to say that to me about cold showers, which I still can't really do.
I love them.
I can do a cold plunge. I can't do a cold shower.
I can't start my day with a cold shower.
Yeah, well, you dove in pretty hard.
Do I love it? No.
It's just so hard. It's just so hard. But those cold plunges they're the best. So now, back on your path. I'd love to talk to you a little bit about something that we have never discussed on this show. And it's about the Yatra, which is a spiritual pilgrimage. You are taking a group. When you leave to Peru?
Yes.
To Machu Picchu, when?
March 16 to March 21st. We're going to be there for the vernal equinox.
So tell us a little bit about that, the equinox, and tell us a little bit about Yatra and how you've designed yours.
Okay. Let me have a little bit of matcha.
Okay. Whatever you want, babe.
Sponsored by In the Naad.
Yes.
Okay. So a yatra is basically a spiritual pilgrimage. So people get confused. I have people reaching out to me and they're like, oh, I can't wait to just be there and just sit at the center and just meditate all day. It's not necessarily meditation. And connecting with yourself is part of the experience, but it's also going into this channels of energy, these centers, these temples, these sacred areas of the world.
Is that called geomancy?
I'm not sure.
I think it is.
Yeah, you might know
These
more than
sacred
I do.
portals that have certain latitude
Yeah.
and longitude where these miracles have taken place. That,
Yes, yes.
right,
So
and they're basically vortexes.
basically, and so you go into all these like sacred, spiritual, energetic centers in different parts of the world, and you kind of tune into the energies of those areas. And this year, it's my first one, but I picked.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I picked Machu Picchu because, like, as you know, I am from Bolivia. I was born here, but I grew up in Bolivia. My mother's Bolivian. So I have kind of like that, although I'm not from the Andes region, I did have that influence of, the Incans in my life.
Of course, it's your culture.
Yes, it's part of my culture. The city that I grew up in, it's a little bit different. It has another indigenous lineage, but I was still highly influenced, and I had friends from that region, and I went there all the time, and it's just beautiful and so amazing. And it's I feel like when it comes to like the Incas, we talk about them, but I don't think we talk about them as much. I think we focus a lot in Egypt. We focus a lot. What are the other ones?
Mayans. Because they're close.
Because they're closer. But something that I find really, really cool is that if you go back into some of these, like, regressionists and ancient historians, whatever, these people, they talk about, like when Atlantis sunk. There were survivors. There were survivors that they went into different parts of the world. And some of them went to Egypt. And, they did it through, it said that the pyramids were moved, the stones were moved with their mind. But I
believe with frequency. I believe with sound.
So wait, that's where I'm headed.
Okay.
So, because I can't fully talk about Egypt, I lightly touch it, but
it's
I'm
not
more
your expertise, right?
I know about it, but I'm more into like the Incas and indigenous races, whatever. So, but then some other people were sent into other parts of the planet, being the Andes where the Incas set, and it's actually said that those edifications were moved, like you said, through sound.
Yeah,
they were moved through sound, and again, it goes back into really, really appreciating the power of mantra. This is a technology that people thousands of years ago used to move blocks.
Yes.
So how is it working now? We still use it for the same thing. Yeah, we can't move physical blocks, but we move energetic blocks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You're making an analogy. Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I think it's a region that, a lot of people do go to Peru, and that's why I chose Peru, because it's magical. I've been there before. It has power to it. But I also eventually want to drift into Bolivia, because I feel like Bolivia
it's
is
so
totally
untouched,
underrated.
It's just underdiscovered. It's so magical when you're going through those mountains and you see the Indians sitting there, and you're like, where are they getting water? Where are they getting food? But they know what they're doing, and they know how to live nomadic lives, and they're just so beautiful, and the countryside is so beautiful and untouched. And
it goes back also with like how they live their life. That it trails back into the Incans as well. Because if you look into the different ancients, at least the newest ancient generations, because there's how many, you can go really far back.
Course.
But looking at it, this is the one, how the Egyptians were really into the star of Sirius. They really connected with the stars, correct? They were kind of like going out there. The Incans also related to the universe, but they also deeply related to planet Earth. They were very grounded and connected. Like they had the Pachamama, which is the goddess of the earth, of planet Earth, right? And the Mother Earth. Then there's Inti. There was like the sun. That was their main god. So they bow down to the sun. And then there was Viracocha, which was a creator of the whole universe. So yeah, they had connection to universe, but they also had a lot of reverence to what they had in front of them. And there's a lot of the ways how they lived,
the earth, the plants, the gifts, right?
How they create like the agriculture, the terrace that they created thousands of years ago that probably became a blueprint for a lot of agriculture systems that we still have in some parts of the planet today.
Well, I'm sure they had some songs too, like the prayer songs. What were they called? The ancient. It's with the C. I can't think of the word. The ancient songs that the shaman would sing.
I can't recollect the top of my head right now.
Well, yeah. That's going to be so intense and so beautiful. And you'll do the mantra. And
Yes.
so what is a day like?
Okay.
You wake up and
So-
I'm sure you're doing sadhana.
Yeah, we are doing
Right.
sadhana. Thank you for reminding that, because some people are like, sadhana. I was like, no, we have to. Well, you don't have to, but I'll be leading
Right.
it. I'll be leading it. So
And you'll
obviously-
notice who's not there.
Yeah, that's fine too. That's fine. You
No,
know,
I mean, Guru Jagat would notice who's not there. She wouldn't require you to be there, but you'd be reminded.
yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of chance for sleeping, because it's going to be a very active yatra. We're going to go to all these ancient ruins. There's this place called Ollantaytambo, which is an Incan city that's still there. No, it's inhabited, but it's still there, and you can see like the houses and the terraces and everything. So we're going to go to ruins. We're gonna go to this place called Rainbow Mountain, which is extremely high elevation. It's a very unique place because you've probably seen it online, but it's a mountain that has the colors of the rainbow.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So there's
Is that what it looks like to the human eye?
to
The human eye when you look at it?
You know, I haven't been to that location specifically, so I'm gonna tell you why I decided to do this yatra. I was like, you know what? I really been wanting to go to Peru.
These are places you wanted to go.
Yes.
Got it.
So I was like,
smart.
I'm going to take a trip to Peru. I'm going to create a yatra. If people come, amazing. If it's just me, a few people, I don't
Still
care.
amazing.
It's still going to be an experience, and I'm going to do it. And that's kind of going to be kind of like my compass for future yatras. It's like, where do I want to explore?
Of course. I think that's what
And-
Guru Jagat did.
Yes. So that's
Wherever-
where it came from. Yes. But we'll be doing, again, we're going to go to these ancient sites, and then we will also be taking a train to the city of Aguascalientes and then hiking up to Machu Picchu.
You're doing the hike?
No, we're not going to do the 4-day
Oh,
hike.
okay.
No, we're going to do the VIP hike.
By the way, that hike looks so good. That's something I would love to do.
I want to do it, so you and I should do it, because I
The
dream
way-
of doing it.
And there's also a way you can do it where you have, they're not Sherpas, but they help out a little bit.
Yes.
And maybe build a tent, and apparently the dinners are beautiful. That sounds so cool to me.
That's for a longer yatra, because there's different formats. It's either 10 days, 4 days, or 2 days. Which
I've only heard about the 2 or 4.
2 is kind of like, well, let's do 4. You know, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think as I keep going, I will probably do a longer one where we can do something like that, because I'm more adventurous, but I'm trying to like sense the field and see where people are at. So the mountain that we're gonna basically, it's not even a hike, we can call it a trek. It's more of a trek. Is gonna be pretty challenging.
How many nights?
5 nights.
And are your students excited about this? Are you getting good positive feedback?
Yeah, I have a few people and they're pretty excited. Yeah.
How do people reach out to you if they want to sign up?
So if they want to sign up, there's a few ways. I ideally would say reach out to me through Instagram, because I can answer you directly if you have any questions. My Instagram is Akal Serge, which is AKAALSERGE. Now, if you want to check the website directly, is akalessentials.com, which is AKAALessentials.com.
I think that's going to be so exciting. I would love to go, actually. When are you going?
March 16th to March 21st.
Okay, well, that's the end of that. I can't. My son's on spring break, and we're going to Scotland.
Okay, well, you can come to
I'll be,
Bolivia.
I'll be at the next one. Plus, I'm always at your classes.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that you want to cover that you feel like we should touch on?
Anything else?
You want to talk about your classes and what's going on with you and Babaji? And
Well, let's talk a little bit about Babaji. You know, I call it the ever-evolving Babaji. And it goes through seasons. We don't have to go through the seasons.
It's hysterical.
But it's been many seasons, and I think this is like the best season so far. You know, we have Tej back. Brian's in the picture doing a lot of things behind the scenes. We have a lot of like the Nine Treasures community, a very, very loving community. I'm feel very grateful to be part of this. So I think we're entering a very exciting time with the community. Like you said, things got kind of rocked a little bit for a few years. Not what started maybe like 5-6 years ago, but what's been happening for the last 2-3 years ago as well. And the community is going to come back, and it's going to be stronger and bigger than ever. So
I mean, it already is. Now it's really seems to be students who want to transform, and that's really it.
yes, I think like some people throughout the years have been weeded out, not that I wouldn't want them to come, because it's amazing to have people transform. But I think what I've noticed now is that people are there because they're not there just to have fun. They are, because it's fun.
It
right?
is fun.
It is fun, but they also want to work hard and feel better and be successful in life and be content on themselves. And it's really cool to see that.
Yeah, I feel like it's people looking for a practice rather than a teacher.
Yes.
And that's a real big fundamental difference than what we had before.
Yes.
And there won't be as many rifts because we're really all looking for the same grounding, and we're looking within.
Yes.
Instead of looking for someone to fix us, we're trying to figure out, get the tools and do it ourselves. You know, it's you can't bring a horse to it.
Yes. I do like a good seasonal student, because they add the fun to it. They're very fun people. They come in.
What's this? Oh, people who just come in.
Yeah,
and
seasonal student.
Oh,
they're
there's
great.
tons of
They're
that.
great.
People come in when they're going through a divorce. People come in when they're getting off drugs or booze. I mean, we are the pit stop for someone who's figuring out transformation or
Yes.
spirituality. And
they
it's a
feel
great
good.
it's a great place. Sometimes they come, they leave, and then they come back.
6 months later, yes.
If you get it, you can't really stay away. It's hard to
Yeah.
function without the
Yeah.
practice. And that's when we didn't have Tage and there were no teachers around. It was very hard. We
Yeah.
were like a people looking in search of our teachings, and finally they've come back.
Yeah.
And I think she seems to be on fire.
Yes. The queen is back.
The queen is back. But you're building your own little kingdom too. Like, that's what's so beautiful about this. Like, I don't think there's competition. There's plenty of room for tons of teachers.
Yes.
And we want them. We want good teachers.
We're a family. We're all a family. And
Exactly.
We're expanding.
Exactly. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is my first podcast. I feel honored.
I know I had kind of had to twist your arm a little bit to get
did,
you.
you did. I was a little
and
nervous, not
then
gonna
Ryan
lie.
had to twist my arm to get you here,
Yeah.
but it worked.
Yeah, he called me today. He did a little bit of pushing. He's like,
This is like the Kundalini Network.
yeah.
We love it so much that it's so important for us to share the message.
Yes.
Yeah, come try us out. Come to one of Sergio's classes. They're so good. Oh, I was something funny. I was telling this to Ryan the other day. You can tell when a teacher is really heavy into White Tantric, and if they're not, by the classes they come with. And I always, whenever I'm in your class, I'm like, oh shit, that's right, he's a White Tantra guy. As I'm holding my arms up for 9 minutes, I'm like, you know where your teacher's roots are. And
Yeah.
with you, I can always feel the White Tantric like beaming through. It's hysterical. I was saying that to Ryan, and he agreed.
I'm happy to hear that it's not impacting me, but it's also impacting the classes.
Oh, yeah, your classes are great. They're so good. They're so powerful. Well, thank you, darling. I feel honored to have you here. Let's have you back after the Yatra.
Sure. Thank you.
Tell us what kind of spirits you saw and
Yeah.
that you brought home with you.
Thank you.
So, Satnam, thank
Satnam.
you.